Hello, welcome my lovely sewing friends. My name's Becky and this is my channel, Go Sew Beautiful. I've been on vacation, so I haven't made a video in a while, but it's Friday, so it's time for another Friday Sews video. This hashtag was started by Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room, so if you haven't seen her channel, I'll leave a link in the cards. Check her out. She's really got some fun things to share with people in the sewing community. So I'm going to talk today about things that I've made and also some plans, as well as a little bit about my vacation, and I have a question that I want to ask everyone, and finally a little follow-up to the hashtag 5 questions 1 take challenge. I did make a video called 5 questions 1 take, and you can see that up above, and I just wanted to add a little bit more to it. Okay, so what have I been making? I started this top last month. This is New Look 6871 View A, and I actually took my sewing machine on vacation with me and finished it up while I was on vacation. And I did that because I knew it was going to be raining part of the time and we wouldn't be able to go out, and I didn't just want to sit around, even though there were plenty of other activities. They had a nice workout facility, but I went ahead and finished this up, and this time I cut a size 12 or 14 in the yoke, and I think I made a 14 in the sleeves and a 16, and I graded out to a 16 on the bottom, and I'll put a picture of me wearing it right up here or here. And I'm really pleased with how it fit. Now, if I were going to be on the Great British Sewing Bee, I'm pretty sure they would critique or take some points off for the fact that I did not match these this horizontal pattern with the yoke. But I really wasn't paying attention, and since I'm not on the Great British Sewing Bee, it really doesn't matter. I don't think anybody's going to pick on me for that. I did try to use the burrito method for doing this yoke, and I guess because of this notch here in the front, it didn't work. I couldn't get the fabric to pull through there. In fact, when I did, I ripped it a little bit, and I ended up having to unpick the stitching and make a new yoke lining. And so I still need to work on that technique. I think maybe if I had another shirt with just a simple yoke, it would work better. Now, I had made this top back during the summer. This is it right here, and found that it was really large and didn't stay on my shoulders well. And I figured out when I cut out the second one, the reason why is because I think I cut out a 16. I could see where I had traced a size 16 at the top, and that was just way too big. So I may take this apart and try to take in the yoke, maybe by putting a seam in the back here, and I may stitch up this notch in the front, or maybe I'll put two darts or something on the sides. But I really like this top and I want to wear it, so I would really like to fix it. However, since it's kind of a summer top, I'll probably wait until next summer. Another thing I made, which I made a video about, is this Flawsome top. Oops. This is the Flawsome top from Pattern Emporium. And if you'll remember, if you haven't seen the video, I'll put a link to it up in the cards. But it's really cute, but it is a little too low here, and it shows too much cleavage when I bend over, and I'm not very comfortable with that. And I really don't want to just give it away because I put a lot of good sewing into this, but at the same time, I really don't want to unpick it and redo it. I don't know. I think I would have to cut another lower half in order to do that. So I may just put something behind in this cutout section and see if that doesn't give me a little bit more coverage. Okay, so on to my plans for what I'm going to sew next. I'm not sure I'm going to get to it by the end of the month because there's only 2 weeks. But first thing I'm going to make is some PJs for my Aunt Pat. She is the sister of my mother-in-law, and if you all remember, I made some pajamas for my mother-in-law last August. Her birthday was in August, and for her birthday. And she really liked them. They were made out of double brushed poly. I'll put a picture of her wearing them. So her sister, who is named Pat, we call her Aunt Pat, saw those pajamas or heard my mother-in-law talk about them and asked me if I would make some for her. So I said, well, sure. She said she has a lot of trouble finding pajamas that fit right or aren't, you know, she's kind of short and I think they're too long. So I showed her some pictures of fabrics and she couldn't really decide. So I said, well, how about if I just pick something out for you? And I found some, she said she liked blue, so I found some really pretty navy blue with little ditzy flowers on it from fabric.com because there wasn't anything really at Joann. And I ordered some navy blue solid to go with it. And when I got the fabric, I was just kind of disappointed. It really did not feel quite as soft and quite as thick as the double brush poly from Joann. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do because I didn't want to order more for fear that it would be the same way. Okay, long story short, I ended up I had some fabric in my stash, which I had made a dress out of last year, and I had a little bit left, but not quite enough for the pajamas, and I hadn't worn the dress, so I decided to use the dress to make the pajamas. And this is the fabric. It's a double brush poly that I got from Joann's. It's navy blue, and it has these pretty little birds and flowers on it. And I showed it to my mother-in-law, and who decided she's going to give these pajamas to Aunt Pat for her birthday. And she said she would love that print. So I've got those all cut out and ready to make up. And thankfully, Joann did have some navy blue double brush poly that will go perfectly with it. So that's next on my list. I've also cut out something for the Sew Purple to End ALZ challenge that Michelle from Michelle Sews Again is hosting for the month of October. She is going to donate, I believe, $1 for everything that somebody sews up and posts on Instagram, up to $500. And she's doing this because this is the anniversary of her father's death from Alzheimer's. He died last year in October, and she just wants to raise awareness and raise some money for research. So I'll post more about that later. And then the last thing that I really want to make, and again, this is not going to be done in October, but I was wearing a tunic length top the other day, black and white with black leggings, and it was just a little cool out, and I really wanted a little cardigan or something to go over it. I didn't have anything that was long enough. All I had was a hoodie from an employer, a previous employer, and it had the logo on it. And, you know, I ended up wearing that, but I thought I really would like to have a longer length cardigan with a hood on it. And I remembered this pattern, Mccall's M6802, and I want to make view B And possibly I may add, view A has a little elastic, elastic at the waist. I may do that as well, but I made this last year in a black polar fleece, and it pilled up really badly, and I really had only made it to wear around the house to stay warm, and I think I gave it away. So I really would like to make this version, a new version, in either, I guess I could make it in double brush poly, but probably I'm going to make it in Ponte. I've got some Ponte knit coming from Fabric Mart, so I might see how that works. I had some black cotton spandex knit, and I just didn't have enough of that. Plus, I don't think it would hang very well. The other option I've thought of is black French terry, and I think that would look nice too. Let me know what you think, Ponte or French terry. So those are my plans. The next thing I wanted to share with you is I wanted to ask you, what do you think, what do you like to be called as a person who sews? I think the popular term now is a sewist. And I think I like that term, but usually when I tell people I sew, and they tell other people about it, they say, Becky is a great seamstress. And that's a very traditional term, which describes what people who sew do. But I just thought that's, I don't know, I just thought there might be something a little bit more interesting. So I've come up with a few things. One would be a seamster, which, if you think seamstress is a female person who sews, a seamster might be a male person, but I really think it could be kind of unisex. And I just kind of like seamster because it seems a little bit hip. Another term might be textilist, because we do work with textiles. Another term would be dressmaker. The only thing about that is we do make more things than just dresses. Maker is another one I see on Instagram a lot. And then the last one I thought of would be fabricologist. Now, I've seen a meme, and you may have as well. I'll put a picture of it up if I can, that says a fabricologist is a person who collects and hoards fabric, I think. Anyway, I just thought it would be a fun term to use for a person who works with fabrics. So let me know what you think. If you have some others. Oh, I did think of one other, but it's kind of hard to say, and it's a French term called couturier. Couturier, couturier. Anyway, I'll spell it out. That's hard to say. As far as vacation goes, we had a really good time. We went with my mother and father-in-law and my sister and brother-in-law to the Great Smoky Mountains in Sevierville, Tennessee. And what was really fun is that my sister-in-law has started sewing again. She has known how to sew most of her life. In fact, I believe she made her wedding gown. But recently, she has not really been sewing any clothing. She made curtains for her home, but since she started watching my channel, she has started sewing dresses again. So we had a lot of fun talking about fabric and things to make, and we even made a trip to Joann because there was a store just down the street from our where we were staying, and she really wanted to look at fabric. So we went and looked around a lot, and then we also knew that there was a pattern sale. So we picked out some patterns and took advantage of that. So that was really a lot of fun. And like I said, I took my sewing machine with me to finish up my top. The last thing is a follow-up to the hashtag 5 questions, 1 take video. This challenge was started by Whitney from Tomcat Stitchery and Lindsay from Inside the Hem. Actually, I think it was Lindsay who started it, and invited YouTube vloggers, sewists, to participate in the hashtag 5 questions, 1 take, where you answer 5 questions about your sewing experience, and you do it in 1 take, which means unedited. I had put a lot of thought into the first few questions, but didn't really think that much about the last question. And I've thought more about it, and as I've watched other people, I did want to add a little bit to question number 4, which is, what is it like to be a sewing YouTuber? Has it met your expectations, etc.? And after watching some others, I agree. I realized I had left out some things, and so I wanted to share that. I do enjoy making YouTube videos, and I enjoy having this channel, but at times it is a lot of work. The video editing takes time, and I am still learning how to do that, as you can probably tell from my videos. But it is fun to see all the other YouTube sewists out there, and it's fun to, it's really more about hearing from people who watch your videos. All of you subscribers, and even if you don't subscribe, I love reading your comments. And then the last question was, what is one quote or saying that has resonated with you about your sewing channel? And I said something kind of silly, but the one quote that I have remembered since for a long time, that somebody shared with me when I was working as a hostess at a Bob Evans restaurant. My manager shared this, and it's a quote from Zig Ziglar, and this really resonates now. So the quote is, if you aim at nothing, you will hit it every time. And I think that's true about anything you set out to do. If you don't have a specific goal in mind or target, you're probably going to spend a lot of time doing a lot of other things that aren't going to get you to where you want to be. So as far as my sewing goes, I really want to have a me-made wardrobe, and I want to have the clothes that fit well and clothes that I need. So I'm using my sewing journal to figure out what it is I need in my wardrobe, and not just things that I need, but things that I think will look good on me, that will fit me. So those are some things I'm going to do in order to achieve my goal, and I encourage you to do the same. So I appreciate you watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing, and then hit the notification bell so you'll see when I upload new videos. I hope y'all have a great weekend. Go sew beautiful. Bye-bye.